just started the stream with the goodbye credits. I'm gonna get the hang of this. So I'm gonna slow this down again. Properties twice as long. This is milliseconds. Gonna have the pictures take a minute. Alright, here we go. Alright, the idea. I'm trying to figure out what Alien 4 means. The Alien franchise is good. Alien 1 is the best one. So people say the second one, it's not. James Cameron did a good job. Surprisingly, the most famous pictures out of Alien come from Alien 3. Where the xenomorph is right in her face. That's not Alien 1. So you have to take a step back and look at it. Ridley Scott wanted to start over. He took a look, and right at the end of it was Alien 4. And after that, there was the other movies, he said, where the alien shows up. The alien shows up in Alien vs. Predator. They made 2 of those. I think they made 2 Alien vs. Predators. I saw one in the theater. The one with Santa Lathan is actually really good. That movie is actually really good. The alien, the whole idea of the alien is, oh no, it better not reach Earth and then we're toast. There's no defense against it. And Alien vs. Predator says it's been here the whole time, just hanging out in a bunker in the Arctic. And the predator shows up to hunt it as some sort of sport or trial. It's locked away. Which is crazy, because the predator is what kind of a monster looks for death? It looks to fight something. It's like, can you destroy me? Let's see. That is a crazy monster. Hunting for sport. It doesn't look for food, or it's not looking for something to eat. It's looking to see if it'll be challenged. So I was about to tell a story about how this guy, something happens in the movie where the alien attacks, and the whole theater started laughing and cheering because this guy had an outburst. He was like, I don't want to say it. He was like, oh yeah. Right, right in the middle of the movie, some guy jumps up and is like, oh yeah. And everyone started laughing. I still have a cold. Alright, where did I leave off? A group of mercenaries. Plot 200 must start over. Nope. As a result of the Xenomorph Queen's DNA, the clone possesses enhanced strength and reflexes, acid blood, and a psychic link with the Xenomorphs, making her more empathetic towards them than the humans she encounters. Additionally, the Xenomorph's genetic memory allows the clone to retain some of Ripley's memories. I sound horrible. Is it Ripley? Is the question. If you're a clone of someone, you are that person. That is a version of that person. But she's part alien. So there's something going on. I may not be smart enough to figure that out. There's something. I heard a long time ago. I think it was during the invasion of Iraq. Someone said that when two countries go to war against each other, what happens is that they start to pick up characteristics of each other. Believe it or not. Which is strange. If a giant country goes to war with some other country, I'm not going to point fingers, then what I'm trying to say is whoever has the upper hand, it doesn't matter. They're going to get influenced just by making a connection. So, in real world, you might see that as third world countries getting McDonald's. You might see Middle Eastern type architecture in your neighborhood planning. The houses might become closer together. You might get walls. You might get walls instead of gates. That little differences like that show up. And I think that's what they're trying to say here with Ripley has become so focused on fighting this monster that she's taken on characteristics of it. She's become that bushman out in the jungle. She started out as Sarah Connor, isn't it? She was a waitress, and by the end of that movie, by Terminator 2. She's walking around flipping guns on her hip. So Ripley made the same. She went through the same thing. Okay, a group of mercenaries. Elgin, Johnner, Christie, Vries, Hillard, and Annalee Call arrives at the Auriga on their ship, the Betty. Alright, they fly the Betty, delivering several abducted humans in stasis. The military scientists use the humans as hosts for the aliens, raising several adult xenomorphs for study. Alright, so the mercenaries they're dirty. That's not a great group. They're heading. I don't know. If they're bounty hunters, they're like, here's this dirt bag. But who are they handing it over to? Weyland-Yutani? Yeah, that's not good. The Betty crew soon encounters Ripley 8. Call recognizes her name and attempts to kill her. Suspecting that Ripley 8 may be used to create xenomorphs. But the creatures have already been cloned. That's interesting. They pushed. That's one thing with the Alien series. Is they'll do time jumps and things where you don't have a great footing on where the story might be. All of a sudden, Alien 2 comes out, and they're Colonel Marines who haven't encountered it. But you pick up a novel, and the Colonel Marines are experts at it. Of here's another planet with the monster on it. Let's do drop downs. It's interesting. So this thing sees Ripley and it says, you have... Okay, so the crew is being... The Betty. The crew of the Betty is being used and they don't know it yet. Because they are not in the xenomorphs. Okay. The mature xenomorphs escape confinement by killing one of their own and using his acidic blood to burn through their enclosures. They capture Dr. Jonathan Gediman, damage the Auriga, and kill most of the crew who failed to evacuate, including General Perez and Elgin. Military scientist Dr. Wren reveals that the ship's default command in an emergency is to return to Earth. Realizing this would unleash the xenomorphs on Earth, Ripley 8, the mercenaries, Wren, a soldier named Di Stefano, and surviving xenomorph host Purvis decide to head for the Betty and use it to destroy the Auriga. They're going to get off the ship and destroy it. Along the way, Ripley 8 discovers a laboratory containing the grotesque results of the previous 7 failed attempts to clone Ellen Ripley. One survivor begs Ripley 8 to euthanize her. She hesitantly complies and then incinerates the lab. They went full sci-fi. As the group navigates the damaged ship, they swim through a flooded kitchen, pursued by 2 xenomorphs. One is killed, while the other snatches Hillard. As they escape the kitchen, the xenomorph returns and blinds Christie, who sacrifices himself to kill the creature. Ren betrays the group and shoots Call, revealing in her survival that she is a synthetic. That's typical. Call confesses that she is one of the Weyland's legendary extraterrestrial generation of synthetics called Autons. Who were so lifelike that they gained consciousness and rebelled, burning their internal wireless modems and trying to pass themselves off as human. Wow. Knowing what androids can do, Ripley takes Call to a small chapel and makes her connect herself to the station's computer. Using her ability to interface with the Auriga's systems, Call sets the ship on a collision course with Earth. Call's no good, hoping to destroy the xenomorphs in the crash. She cuts off Ren's escape. Why not pick the sun or something? She cuts off Ren's escape route and directs the xenomorph towards him. Wow. Ripley 8 is captured by a xenomorph, while the others head to the Betty. Ren, already aboard, shoots Purvis, takes Call hostage, and demands that she abort the collision. An injured Purvis attacks and grapples Ren, causing his xenomorph embryo's emergence to kill them both. That's silly. The survivors shoot and kill the juvenile xenomorph. Someone had a sense of humor. They're all trying to escape. And they finally get to the lifeboat. And some of them have betrayed and shot and killed everyone on the way. And then it's the last desperate handful. And they're like, change it back, change the course, change, no, you change it. And then an alien jumps out of one of their chests and just kills them both. Alright. Ripley 8 is taken to the Xenomorph nest, where she finds Ganymede alive and partially cocooned. The Xenomorph Queen having developed a uterus. Due to her genetic contamination with Ripley 8, gives birth to a xenomorph with overtly human traits. They gave the alien a vagina in this one. That's crazy. Nobody talks about that. Unable to bond. I don't know how I feel about that. Unable to bond with the queen. The hybrid Z. This is what I hate about this movie, by the way. That right there. I've always hated this part. I could watch this movie, and then I get to this part, and I just shut it off. Unable to bond with the queen, the hybrid xenomorph recognizes Ripley 8 as its mother. It kills the xenomorph queen and Ganymede. Ripley 8 takes advantage of the distraction to escape and makes her way to the Betty. The newborn hybrid reaches the ship and attacks Cole, killing DiStefano when he tries to help her. Ripley 8 saves Cole by distracting the hybrid. Using her acidic blood, Ripley 8 melts a hole in a window and pushes the hybrid towards it. Ripley 8 tearfully watches as the decompression violently eviscerates the creature through the hole and blows its pulverized remains out into space. So there's just a picture of a hole in the side of the ship and alien just spewing out of the side of the ship. The countdown on the Eureka continues as Ripley 8, Cole, Johnner, and Vrees escape in the Betty. The Eureka collides with Earth, causing a large explosion. As they look down at Earth, Cole asks what Ripley 8 wants to do next. I don't know. I'm a stranger here myself, she replies. And that's Alien 4. Alien 1, they were just driving home. They got a distress call, and a monster showed up instead of a person. Alien 2, same thing. A monster jumped out instead of a person. What's fun about this story is it's a tale of survival. I'm wondering, everyone's excited that there's a script. It's a different direction. Um, now, pardon me. I'm trying to play script doctor instead of understanding the story. And when people start playing script doctor, it's generally, how can I fix this to make myself happy? It's not always about, well, what are you trying to say? And this is a better route. But my thoughts are, if I'm playing script doctor, I look for a way to restore Ripley. If you have genetic scientists who can conjure up an alien, then that is something that will get the audience to cheer at the end, seeing Ripley restored. That's what I was trying to figure out. If they do an Alien 5, I'm not gonna go over that, but I figured out a way to make all these movies work and get Ripley back at the start of the movie. I think Ridley Scott looked at all of this and decided to pick a concept of what he was trying to say with all of it. So what are they trying to say with this one? What does Alien 4 mean? There's a couple plot points. Ripley is half alien. And the alien is part human. They are all lab experiments. Neither one of them is the original walking around. What I mean by that is that war ended. You know, that's super interesting. Ripley was in this battle with the Alien Queen. And she's making all sorts of aliens running around. You'd have to believe that they wiped it all out in LV-246. So there's also the point that they're mercenaries facing this problem this time. They're hired guns. Last time was military. Um, what else stands out? There's the quest is get to the lifeboat. They are on a sinking ship. There's also an idea of desperation with this story. Weyland-Yutani wants the creature so badly that is doing experiments in space. That's one of the charming things about the series, is that the idea is that the creature is so dangerous. There's something in the deepest, darkest pits of space. What is out there? It's something that's so dangerous that it can't make the return trip home. You can go find it, but you're not going to be able to make it home. I mean, you could try bringing it home. Like, not even born yet. The thing is that dangerous. Not even born yet. Your crew is not going to make it home. Alright, this is usually how I try to pick movies apart. The channel's been a lot of fun so far. That's where I'm going to focus my thoughts on. What does it mean that Ripley is part alien and that the alien is part Ripley? What does that mean? And what does it mean that Weyland-Yutani is eager to do experiments in space? They want their hands on the creature that badly. And they pick Ripley. Which means Weyland-Yutani cares about Ripley specifically. Alien 3 happens. They sent they sent a lifeboat after her. They sent a failed lifeboat after Ripley in Alien 3. And Alien 4 might be the company still trying. They're saying no. Use those resources. But they've created the problem. I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff to think about. This is one where they created a problem. Alright. I don't have a sign up or anything. That was a good read. I'm gonna think about a bunch of stuff. Alright, Ruby.